Hello everyone, welcome back to the Rocky Ridge Auto page. My name is Alex. Right here we have a 2016 Dodge Hellcat. Absolutely gorgeous machine. Huge brakes up front. 4-pot brakes in the back. You can see right here is our fuel door. It sounds mean. This is a 6.2 supercharged V8. SRT badging on the back there, you can see that. But just absolutely mean. Has some Pirelli tires on it. Vented disc brakes up front. Just an absolutely gorgeous machine. One thing right off the bat, right in here is going to be an intake. You can see that there's a little hole right there. Put your hand through it. That is only on this side because that is where the intake is. Let me pop the hood and let's take a look at this beast. Right up top here we'll have our supercharger. Right here's a massive pulley belt for the supercharger. Then you can see our 6.2 V8 underneath there. Right here is our intake. You can see it is connected right down in there. Very hard to see that. But that is where the air comes surging in. Sounds great, sounds healthy. This car only has 2,600 miles on it. 2,600, that's it. Let's go ahead and jump inside. You can see it does have the proximity entering right there. These windows are tinted also. So of course right here, just like everyone else, power windows, mirrors and locks are gonna be right there. Turn the music down here. Go ahead and shut the door. Right here, right loud and center, SRT. You know exactly what car you're in as soon as you get in here. It is absolutely gorgeous. One modification that is done in this car, it does have a Hurst shifter. This feels really good in the hand. We thought about putting back the stock one on, then we drove it around the lot a little bit, and we really like this shifter. It feels good in your hand, and no complaints from us. However, we do have the stock one, so if you do want that. We also have 3 keys with it. This allows the full horsepower of the car when you have the red key in the car. If you have the black key, that is the limited version. That's the key you give to your kid when he takes it to prom. That way it doesn't show off too much. But one thing I do like about the Dodge Challenger is it does have a ton of space versus some of the other cars that we have had, like the Corvette or the ZL1. In here you can see we're also going to have our manual and our stock shift knob right here. But let's go ahead and jump into some of the awesome features. Right here we can see we're almost operating temperature. You have some amazing gauges in there, and this car sounds awesome. I'm gonna give it a little rev here. Until you do it, you don't understand how awesome it is. It feels really good to be in the driver's seat of this thing. We do have a push button start right there. Right here is our awesome infotainment center. I'm gonna go ahead and actually move out of the sun. Keep doing that to myself, where in the video you guys can't really see. There we go. This should be a little bit better. All right, that does have a foot e-brake as well. So right in here we have our lovely infotainment center. Media is gonna be right here, so that's gonna be SD, Bluetooth, which looks like my phone's hooked up at the moment, USB or aux cord. Go back to radio, and right in here are gonna be our controls. You have a heated seat and cooled seats up front. You can see how the steering wheel is heated as well. I have that on, vented and heated for the driver as well. Mirror dimmer is on. And if we want to go into apps, this is just a bunch of paid subscription, but it also does put everything in little letters so you don't have to click around to try and find it. It's super easy to use. Climate control is going to be right in there. Your navigation, you can check out our map. Go to our phone. Looks like mine is on, but we will just leave it on radio for now. Now you may be wondering, what's that little button right there, that little SRT button? Well, here, let's go ahead and hit it. Then you're gonna get a completely new screen up top here. I don't know why I put it in track mode, but it's in track mode right now. I would just leave it on default. That just leaves the suspension and street, or sports street, and then the horsepower. at its max because you do have the red key. If you go into sport mode, then it kind of goes sport across the board. It changes the suspension and traction of the car. If you go in the track, it turns off the traction control over here, and you are ready to do some awesome burnouts and whatever you want to do. But all that is going to be in here. If you hit this SRT button, give it a second to load. You can check out all the super cool stuff in here. It's got a bunch of different applications that you can go through. You can leave up some gauges. Gauges too. This one has your boost pressure in here, the G-force you're getting at that moment, and your engine horsepower and torque. You can see if I rev a little bit, the numbers will change and the boost will go up a little bit. Which is super cool. I'm actually gonna leave it on there because I think I like that the most. But right down here, we do have a launch control. No one here is going to be trying that out. If you purchase a car, well, go for it. But what you do, hit the launch button. It's gonna say, to launch, press clutch and apply full throttle. I'm gonna press the clutch, but I'm not gonna apply full throttle. I can tell you that. That is definitely not happening in this video, unfortunately. But that is how you do it, and then we'll hit launch to turn it off. Give it a, there we go. Right down here we do have our rear parking sensors. We can turn them off, and in here is our control for our dual climate control, or like we did earlier, you can do it up top and control it from there. One nice thing about the Challenger is it does have a good amount of headspace in the back here. You can see that it's a lot better than a Mustang or Camaro, so a taller person could fit back there. Now, by no means do I suggest that. This is a sports car, not designed for passenger use, but you can. Here's your cruise control, and then we also have some controls right here that will help us control this little screen right here. So I'm going to be using that little D-pad. So we have our vehicle speed right here, vehicle info, we have our tire pressure there, coolant temperature. All these gauges are the ones that we looked at on the page. And then if we go down to performance, you can see that the person hit a top speed of 136 in this. You also have your, your 0 to 60 best time is 4.2. They never did a 0 to 100. Right here we have a reaction timer. So if you hit OK on that, it'll do a stage like you're drag racing, and then it will drop the gears and you go. But we're not gonna do that. Okay. Oh nope. 1/8 mile timer, 1/4 mile time, braking distance, and the current G-forces on the car, peak G-forces, and then a lap time as well as lap histories. And it takes us back to top speed. If we go down into fuel economy, which this car is known for its fuel economy, just kidding, it is not at all. But you can set your range and or, what's the difference between these two? There is none. Okay. And then if we go into here, we have our trip info, trip A, trip B, audio. This is just what song you're listening to. You can change between the presets on your D-pad. Messages, your screen setup, diagnostics on the car, and that takes us back to speedometer, and that's where we're going to leave it on. But before I forget, I want to put this back into default. There we go. Put traction control back on so I don't hurt somebody. But that is it. Of course it is stick. I'm sure you guys saw that. 6-speed Tremec transmission. This car is an absolute beast. Sounds amazing, and we love this car. It also has the Harman Kardon sound system in here as well, which is great. But overall, gotta love this car. How do you not? It is gorgeous. Of course, it has the Brembo brakes on there too. Those huge calipers. But if you have any questions about this one, please don't be afraid to call us, text us, or reach out to us on Facebook or email. We'd love to answer any questions you have or even show you the car. Thank you so much for listening to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day. See ya.